Hey everybody, it's the Last Robokai here, and it's time for more Fate Samurai Remnant. Last time, things got a little weird. We rescued Kaya, but a lot of the rogue servants just kind of went crazy, and their eyes started glowing, and they started trying to attack us, and we don't know what's up with that. I mean, Iori and Saber don't, we do. The fellow who's in charge of overseeing the entire thing seems to also be an active participant, and also actively controlling it. And this is only going to get worse, and joining me on this only getting worse is, of course, Cool Guy.
Yo, I always expected to get worse. This was not a surprise to me.
Yeah, so we gotta figure out what's going on. There's a little bit of main plot and a lot of digressions in today, and then and they're not insignificant. They'll help fill in a few holes in knowledge that we might have had previously. So let's get stuck straight in.
Still fills me with mortal fear that a Kako storm is about to start.
さて、では腹も口くなったところで、今日はどうする?
Stomach full, head empty, no idea what's coming.
I mean, that sounds stomach full, head empty. Sounds like Iori, or not Iori, Saber in a nutshell, anyway.
Yes. Yeah, I wasn't kidding in the intro. Like, there's no way for them to know who's behind this.
塩らしいな、セイバー。案外、そうでもないかもだ。
その口ぶりは何だ?
I mean, if something came to mind, then you would have a lead.
思い当たることがあるのか?
ああ、そうだ。一晩考えて思い至った。
Really? So last 15 seconds?
あの場に集わなかったはぐれがいる。
I was thinking about it overnight.
それは何故だ?
おお、術が効かなかったはぐれか。あるいは
かの術式の何たるかを刹那に知って、その場で抗ってみせたかだ。
あり得る話だな。
なら拙速と行こう。行くぞ、若旦那のもとへ。
So that is a lead and a course of action, and it's a damn good one.
Yeah, I know. So it was like, you're right.
Yeah, well, shut up. Like, because he is definitely the best lead you've got.
仕方ない。言ってやるともな。
Shikata ga nai, indeed.
Just gonna spend a little time getting ourselves ready. Got a little bit of renovation we can do now. Still don't quite have at your beck and call, which would basically let us switch servants whenever we want, but that's okay, we'll live. Yeah, they're all good stuff.
Yeah, like, none of these are game changers, but all of them would be nice to have.
Yeah, so we'll just grab Fever Pitch. And, you know, helping us on the Grail fronts is pretty good.
Yeah.
Or the font front. Still don't know exactly what to call them. I don't think the game ever really gives them a good ley line battle. I don't know.
Yeah. Font front is as good a name as we're gonna get, I think.
I just left this one and just, you know.
Right, because this is what, you junking all of your old parts?
Yeah.
Right, cool.
As you can see what it's all going to turn into in terms of what we had and what it becomes, and there we go. And that might actually help us unlock some more stuff. I'll eventually do the crafting thing. Yeah, none of these servants can accompany us at the moment. Things have gone bad for them. Berserker, in particular, has had absolute peaks.
They all hate you.
Well, I mean, poor Berserker had a lot of explosions and boats dropped on him. So
True story. Also, he just kind of hated you. He's always hated you. He just happens to hate you a little bit less than everybody else right now.
Thanks for the rope.
丹念に手入れしよう。
Of course, we gotta get ourselves ready.
Yup.
Clean that sword.
Clean that sword. It's like squishing that cat.
These sequences are so nice. I always feel like I should leave them in, just so everybody can see them.
They're kind of adorable with how intently Kaya and Saber watch you.
I've never seen what happens if you fail it. Like, literally never ever tried.
Don't, like, shouldn't
refuse.
intend to.
And of course we can make fire ones now as well. So I'm going to show the fire carving.
I noticed you can make a boss.
Yep.
A boss one.
I'm mostly holding off on that until he actually directly requests it as part of a quest, because you can sell them off, but it's like they're tricky to make. So I thought I'll wait till he's ready. But yes, we make the Myo-O statue. I'm just gonna make a couple to sell, I guess.
I was just hoping to see the horror that you've talked up, which is making a boss statue.
Well, I don't know. I think about it now, and I'm like, when I play Helldivers and when I play this game, I feel like I've adapted a skill between the both of them. I've said that before already, but it's just like.
I was playing Helldivers in our Discord recently, and just chill streaming. And one night, 3 people came in and was just like, you input those stratagems instantly, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm sorry, but I've been doing this for way too long. Yes, I can reinforce in about a quarter second.
Which is good, because you're probably the only person who pays attention to those things. And now we've unlocked Battle Recollection, so essentially all the really cool sort of major fights that we've done in this game, we can now do, and in a patch around December 2023, they made it so that you can actually play as pretty much any character that you've had a chance to use on these fights. So you can't use them on every single one, but we've only got 4 of them here, but you can replay them. So I will probably at some point do a poll for people to see what recollections they'd like to see with what characters once we've played through the entirety of the game and unlocked all of the recollections. And that includes the DLC ones, because we'll unlock more servants and more recollections as well, on top of that. Because at the time of recording this, they have just released the second DLC, and I'm still not up to it yet. Because of how this game reveals true names, I'm a little mad at this game. I need to sit down and record the entirety of New Game Plus, and then the first DLC, and then the second DLC, so battle never end for this one.
Grilled rice ball.
Yeah, I think the general stock of a lot of the places is now opened up a little bit, because there's a few things that are marked that seem to be new.
I definitely haven't noticed the grilled rice ball before, and that was absolutely one of my favorite walking around foods when I was in Japan.
Yeah, now we got a lot of these. So between that and selling some of those statues, we might be able to get another workshop upgrade in the due course of this.
He did just frickin' pay you bank, though.
It's good to see Sukanoshin's doing alright since getting arrested by Musashi. And now we've got our third Valor
bars,
gauge.
right. I was sitting here looking around just being like, what exactly are you unlocking again?
More stats. Oh, and we've apparently done enough to unlock more stats.
That's gonna be the statues that you carved.
Yeah. Not going to be able to do too many more upgrades. So heavy attacks will have a wider range if I unlock that one, but delivering heavy attack 1 directly after the finish move while in any stance will slow down time.
I suppose it's appropriate that Iori eventually becomes the point man from Fear, since he's the only sane person in a world gone mad, as it were.
Oh dear. Never assume a Japanese swordsman is a sane person. That is not a knock. That is something I have learned from literally every single piece of Japanese media
and storytelling and history of reality of the situation is that when you dedicate yourself so fully to a discipline and art that is so ultimately capricious, it rubs off on you to some extent.
昨夜の術を逃れていたか。さすがだ。
そうと分かれば早速聞き込みだ。ほら、 さっさと済ませるぞ。
Let's see what boss has to say about all this.
This should be good.
どうした雑種ども。食うに困り我が蔵を満たしに来たか。
いや、こたびは違う。貴殿に尋ねたいことがある。
ならば昨晩のあれだな。一斉に今日を発して
Got it in one there, buddy.
か。
なんと知っていたのか。
我が千里眼に見通せぬものなどない。貴様らが必死に戦う様、なんとも愉快であったわ。
なら話は早い。なぜ君は昨べ無事でいられた？何かの術でも用いたのか？
貴様、そのようなことを聞くためにわざわざ俺のもとへ来たのか。
Oh, this way, he says, you like down the street.
この王、凡俗な英霊どもとはそも格が違うのだ。格が。
You shouldn't have had to walk 2 steps to understand his
魔
magnificence.
術
Blah
師
blah
ご
blah.
ときには触れることすらかなうまいよ。わかった。
Yes, in the long history of Gilgamesh as a servant, most people who have attempted to control him have usually had their head blown off.
Yeah. Canon as hell.
やはりこやつを訪ねるべきではなかった。
まあ待てセイバー。
Yeah, that was the wrong question to ask, Saber. The real question is, what was that spell, and do you know anything about it?
思い返せばあの夜、俺と同じく縛られぬ魂が一つうごめいていたか。
おお。
あれは確かここより西の、そう、小石川あ
So
たりだ。
Chimon's old haunt has an infected
小石
servant.
川、そこに支配を逃れた英霊がいるのか。
さてな、そう思うならばおのがめで確かめるがよい。
無論そのつもりだ。恩に着る若旦那。
礼などいらぬわ。俺にとって貴様らは当世を開かずに過ごすための玩具に他ならん。故に貴様らせいぜいシャニムにあがくがよい。そしてこの俺を楽しませよ。
Well, if there's one thing these two pride themselves on being, it's never boring.
And struggling.
And also struggling with everything.
やつめは気に入らんが、まあこたびのみは感謝してやらんこともない。
まあおかげで道が開けた。小石川へ向かうぞ。
Yeah, but we won't be heading there this episode. That is for next episode because we've got we'll think about going to do it, and then they'll be like, oh, actually, Musashi's got a lot of stuff for us, so we'll do some Musashi digressions instead. Also, I believe, yeah, I think Gil's actually got something for us
Boss
to do as well.
also has something, yeah.
遅い、遅すぎるぞ雑種ども。
We were just here, dude!
なんなのだ。
And not fast enough.
君に呼び出された覚えはないが。
たけ、いついかなる時も王の要求に応えるのが真の役目であろう。
God, the voice actor for Boss is just so on point.
いや、私は貴様の真ではないぞ。言ってやれより。
他でもない若旦那の言だ。あまり目くじらを立てるな。
いおり。
まあよい、貴様らに命ずる。神奈川港へ赴き、ある商人を探してくるのだ。
商人。
うん。俺と商談を交わした商人なのだがな。そやつ、
Oh, this should be
約束
good.
の自身となっても一向に
You know, I've been able to say that pretty much every time we've spoken to Boss, and every time we've spoken to Boss, it's been true.
したのだ。
He never lets us down in terms of like entertainment.
He never lets us down.
いおりは若旦那に甘いぞ。
You're too soft on it. No, no, no. He just understands how much of a pain it'll be to be hard on
あれ
him.
があるかもしれん。
This is a war nobody is going to win.
ともすれば九段の商人はすでに
奴の商う品はすでに我が宝物庫に収まる定め、忠実なる重木の手によってな。
その任引き受けましょう。神奈川港の様子も気になる。
This Kanagawa port did have a lot of violence happening around there, and Shoyu did blow up a good section of it.
Right.
Even before he like sucked Rogue Berserker into the reality marble, which thankfully would have meant that not too much of the place would have gotten exploded.
Also, you can't deny, like, Boss does pay pretty damn well.
He does, and we're gonna sell some of our stuff there and make a bucket load of money.
Yeah, that is a quantity of cash.
I hadn't bought Boss's candy before. I'll do it at some point. Saber has some funny remarks regarding it, as Saber will always comment on food.
持っていけ。
Because remember, it's the candy that's made to look like him.
Yeah.
持っていけ。
And if the effect is any indication, it's actually
丁
delicious.
重に扱えよ。
Okay.
There we
う
go.
まければ良いのだ。
また来るがよい。
Alright, let's go. Kanagawa port, here we are.
なんだ。先の戦いの残り火にしては妙だ。確かめるべきか。
あんたらここ危ねえぞ。用がねえなら近づかん方がいい。
用はある。人探しだ。
そいつは諦めな。こうも燃えてちゃ進めやしねえって。
炎を鎮めるのであれば任せよ。やるぞ。
We're just gonna do, okay, sure. We're just gonna do this in plain sight. All right, you know what? Why not?
Well, I mean, what's the alternative? Like people burned to death?
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
We'll leave that to the, to the other people to sort out.
すげえ。いくら水をかけても消えなかったのに。
Indeed, though, the water seems to be of mystical nature. To work on the flames of mystical nature.
俺たちに任せてくれ。
We're magical firefighters, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I suppose the counter argument to we're just going to do this in plain sight is, are the citizens really going to ask that many questions about somebody who solves a big problem for them? The answer is yes, but you know that's out of the scope of this game.
At least the produce is alright, but yes, only me.
仕業だったか。
ならばむしろ
This is a major ley line point, so it's hardly a surprise that you know, trouble has arrived.
It's a nice enough workout. There was something very deeply funny about Iori just suddenly falling right on his ass like that.
As he successfully killed the enemy too, which was kind of the funny part.
Right, like that was what got me. Like if I could have seen what hit him, okay, that would have been one thing. It just sort of gets jacked in the face and falls on his butt. You know, that's entirely another.
頼む。
分かった。見切れまい。
抜けてみろ。
九段の商人は無事なのか。このありさまではやはり。
若旦那のことは後だ。今は一人でも多くの者を助ける。
あんたらが火を消してくれたのか。ありがとう。助かったよ。ここの奥からも人の声がしたんだ。そいつも助けてやってくれないか。
力を尽くそう。貴殿は早く離れろ。
ありがとうな。
No, we just gotta go collect some people and send them home.
無事だな。
It's shades of the Kodama from Neo right now.
死んじまうかと思った。ありがとうございます。
Just jerking your thumb over your shoulder.
There's
They run
safety.
off.
Here's where you go to not burn to death.
Oh, okay. Would never have been able to figure that one out.
So looking at the number of places that are smashed because of Berserker.
I do appreciate that of everything that you can salvage out of here, an engraved sake bottle rates on one of the first things you grab.
It's kind of funny because there's actually one of the most consistent things about the drops in Kanagawa Porters is there's 2 locations with just smashed pots, and you go over there and that's what you get. You just get like ceramic pieces. It's like, oh, okay. He seems pretty relaxed.
He's old. That dude was just like, I'm probably checking out in the next couple of years anyway. If I die horribly here, that's just doing it a little faster, I guess.
So this lady was in the real danger.
Yeah, like she was absolutely blocked.
That's, you know, that's never a reason to not be polite.
辺りに人の気配はない。普段の商人は見当たらなかった。
いや、まだだ。あちらから魔力を感じる。ついてこい。
Yeah, away we go. Still, we have more things to put out, more monsters to put down.
Huh. That's an interesting note there. Say, like, you're supposed to be following Saber, and the instant you started sprinting, so did Saber.
Yeah, I want you to. Saber always sort of leads ahead of you, and I kind of like that. Like,
yeah, it's making the player follow an NPC is a consistent problem in games because it always feels super fucking obnoxious to follow an NPC that's slower than you, but if you make the NPC just as fast as you, they can just get away from you, and you know, like it's actually a really annoying design problem. So, like, kind of reversing the solution that has NPCs following the player like that is one that I've always thought should work, but very few games use it for some reason. So it's interesting to see it casually in here. Oh hey, also going to get cursed lantern suppression done.
I'm very well armed for this encounter, so even though like I don't have like much of my affinity bar filled up, like you can sort of see like Iori is very stacked up on abilities. I was talking about in this previous episode that like when he starts going, like playing as like other characters doesn't feel quite as exciting.
Iori's always got another button to push, which that is definitely super cool to watch in action.
I'm pretty sure I used every single stance in the entirety of this digression, as well as multiple different kinds of spells. This guy kind of looks like Sukanoshin, only he's eating hamburgers.
Yeah, like there's 2 Sukanoshins in a robe here. You know, in any other game, I would be like, yeah, okay, your goods weren't damaged. You should be real concerned about that instead of your life, bruh. But this guy's gonna go ahead to deal with boss. Like, one is the other at that point.
例の品は我が中国どもに取りに行かせよって旦那が言ってたんでな。ここであんたたちに会えるとは運が良かった。頼まれた品は無事だ。こいつを旦那に届けてくんな。
やつめ、初めから使い走りにするつもりだったな。
Yes. Well, sort of. Like, we're actually not clear on how many other people Boss has running around doing his not so dirty work. Like, seriously, we're not assassins or anything here. We're postmates.
Yeah, though it is pretty interesting because obviously, the urgency of why weren't you guys here sooner might not have been because he needed them to like do a job and he was impatient, but it might have been because, you know, there's a fire about to start. He wanted us to get there to stop it.
Sounds about right.
よくやった雑種。やはりこの詩が我が宝物庫にふさわしい。
言うだけは言うぞ。君、初めから使い走りにするつもりだったな。
あ、そう言われれば伝えていなかった
Okay,
かもしれ
well,
んな。
fair enough. He cops to it.
だが貴様らに何の不利益があった？
That's the funny thing about bosses, like, a lot of the times when you go, oh yeah, this guy could have told us this critical information beforehand, but it's like with boss, you know he's withholding critical information because it's funny.
それに
He's clairvoyant. He does know a lot more than he's letting on, and he will only tell you exactly what he wants to, just so he can laugh at you not knowing everything.
若旦那のこの口ぶりは
Yeah.
全て見通していた
He's
のか。
told you recently that he is
やはり
clairvoyant.
ただものではないな。
さて次はどのような任を与えたものかな。いっそ異国にでもやってみるか。
So this actually raises an interesting question.
異国
Them going to a foreign country or whatever. What are the rules for a master just saying,
ともあれ
screw this peace on a Grail war?
褒美をくれてやろう。
Generally speaking, I think anyone who just tries to, like, bail out with their servant would usually find themselves being tracked by everyone involved. Like, I'm not entirely sure what the exact, like, measures are involved in that, because it's not really something that comes up, but there are people who are involved to make sure that these sorts of things are contained. And yeah, we've actually got quite a few digressions to go through today.
No joke.
And possibly next time as well. One involving Rogue Assassin. Rogue Berserker is apparently in Asakusa right now. So, in fact, he's right outside our house.
This'll end well.
どうしたより、そんなに目を丸くして。
Someone let their guard down.
Look where I'm looking. Oh. Well, all right then. That's substantially calmer than I would have expected to see him.
はぐれのバーサーカー。君、一体なぜ？ああ、やっぱり。
I swear to God.
師匠
It just comes up like a goddamn, like, blast of wind.
二人とも驚かせちゃってごめんなさい。もう急に走り出しちゃダメじゃない。追いかけるの大変だったんだから。
He doesn't care.
師匠はぐれのバーサーカーを一体どこで？てっきり彼は先の神奈川港での一戦で姿を消したものだとばかり。
聞いて驚きなさい。なんと彼自分の足で吉原まで戻ってきた。
Well, I guess I buy that because there's not like there's anybody who could really get in his way.
にいたんですもの。もうびっくり仰天よ。
Just turns back up.
自
I'm
ら
home.
の足で。あ、もし
Just
や。
puts one foot in front of the other. There's all these sorts of roadblocks and fire, and he's just like, nah.
堂々たる強戦士ね。
Thumbs up.
のがお箱
So understated, I love it.
So good.
蓄のあることの墓。
そんなこんなですっかりおとなしくなった彼とここを目指して歩いてきたのだけど。
道中で逃げられたと。本当に大丈夫なのか？
もちろん私と再会した時にはすっかりいつもの良い子なバーサーカー殿だったもの。きっと今回はついつい気がせいちゃったのよね。
師匠を信じます。それで何故ここへ？
それは ねえ、どうしてでしたっけ？
Like he's going to just say it. Like, have you ever known him to say words?
もう恥ずかしがり屋さん。ほらほら。
No way. There's no friggin' way.
Little shove.
俺に何用だ？
She's great.
うん？
Just lean on a post and wait for him to come out with it. He'll be waiting all day, just literally all day.
He's just... His face just sweating.
Musashi just thinks this is
一
hilarious.
体俺に何の？
Oh. Yeah, so he's giving us a mystic code.
Huh, okay.
これは。いいのか？バーサーカー。
Spirit Devour is a pretty handy one.
Yeah, that could save a hell of a lot of moves.
あら、もう帰るの？それじゃあ私もおいとましようかしら。またね、いおりくん。それ大切に使ってあげてちょうだい。
待ってください師匠。これは。言ってしまった。
ほう、贈り物か。もしや脇差しの礼ではないか？ほら、先日拾ってやっただろう。
ああ。
やつめ、意外と義理がたいところもあるのだな。
Well, that was just damn decent of the dude. Like,
ああ。
you just sort of got a present for helping him out. You didn't have to jump through any more stupid hoops for it.
Yep.
Cool, man.
It's like
Appreciate you.
That's when these sorts of things happen. Yeah. Boss could learn a thing or two from him.
He won't, though.
No. So what's next on the list? Probably the Shadow Assassin.
Oh man, this old fuck! I love him.
So I'm thinking about it. It's like just go in order. Me.
Yeah, whichever. As long as I get to see old dude with the shades again, I'll be a happy camper.
貴様、玉縄でまみえたはぐれ。
やる気のようだ。手の内のわからん相手だが。
Unfortunately, he's not going to have much to say for us this time because,
yeah,
he's under mind control too.
Yeah. That's sad. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Kick his ass, and I'm sure he'll straighten up and fly right. That's how all of these things work, right?
I don't think we've had a conclusive fight with him yet, and I don't think we're going to have one yet.
運が良かったな、いおり。気は熟した。出番だな。息を合わせろ。
And the ebb and flow of fighting this guy always looks so good.
You think you got a general idea who Rogue Assassin might be yet?
No. Frankly, I hadn't I didn't look it up much after our last one because frankly that particular time we did like three episodes in a row, and bluntly I just plain old forgot. I won't this time though.
I'm just interested in your thoughts. We still won't learn his identity for a little bit yet.
Yeah, I'll spend some time reviewing the old episode, looking for things that I want to look up, right? Because that's basically how I end up doing this sort of thing. I don't necessarily notice in the moment. I just analyze things after the fact. Is that not parryable or repostable?
Oh,
Because...
I'm trying to get the timing down.
Oh, alright.
He doesn't have a huge amount of, like, telegraph to it. Yeah, no, it was mostly just I don't have the timing right for that. Like, I'm probably still trying to do other kinds of timing.
Got it.
We're gonna beat him up now.
Damn! You always think he's moving really slow and not about to do anything. Then he flicks his hand and everything happens at once.
Yes, he's very... Not a lot of wasted movement.
Yeah, it goes very much with what you were saying about how this is the height of his technique, rather than his strength, per se. Jesus. I wasn't expecting that to blow out like that.
Yeah, when we first fought him, he was a bit easier to clean through because we had way more resources. We had a backup servant. Yeah, see, there you go.
There it is. Okay.
But
wow, he actually juggled you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've seen an enemy do that in this game.
Yeah, I think like Rogue Lance is perfectly capable of doing it too. But there's definitely an enemy that we'll fight in this game that can absolutely just, like, juggle the fuck out of you.
Alright, here we go. You've got him now. That escape move is very seductively powerful.
待て、深追いはよそう。まず間違いなく、奴もまた操られたはぐれ。だとすれば。
Yeah, because he wasn't present at that other battle, so it doesn't necessarily mean others who weren't there weren't possessed.
Also, he's literally an assassin. Following him in a chase like that is one of the worst ideas you can have.
Oh, 100%. And as they pointed out as well, working with the other rogues, one of them can come out of nowhere as well.
Yep.
Either, like, you know, if Saber was pulled away from Iori and then, like, Rogue Archer and Rogue Lancer both went for Iori, he'd fucking die. Especially if Arya was there to buff him.
God.
So yeah, let's go to hit Yoshiwara. We've got 2 quests involving Musashi. So we might as well get both of those out of the way.
Prepare to see more wolf grins.
Oh yeah. Actually, one of these quests is, like, kind of phenomenal. But here's something far more important. Remember, Yamabuki was the lady who that fellow ripped off that we ended up accidentally providing cover for. She serves as the 3rd kind of stat tracker. You know, you've got Tsukunoshin, you've got the lady in Akasaka, whose name eludes me at the moment, and yeah. This one's related to some of the more fun stuff, like tracking how many animals you've pet, or how many places you've eaten at, or how many NPCs you've talked to, and all of the various like font points that we've activated around the game world. She keeps track of all of these things and rewards you for them.
I really do appreciate that they threaded in making dogs and cats happy into mercenary work here.
And boy howdy, we've got a lot of things to hand in for this. Yeah, see? Pet 30 cats and dogs. Buy stuff, buy more stuff, buy even more stuff
from boss.
Get skills. Carve statues, look after your blade. mediate fights. Basically every, pick up items. She's just tracking all the things that don't involve, like, killing something. And there's a lot of them.
There is a lot of them. Holy mother.
Yeah, and these ones are like, obviously we've been visiting a lot of the waypoints around the place.
I appreciate that one of her primary things that she gives you is Sugoroku game boards. Just like here, just have a whole bunch of whole bunch of board games for your hard work.
And the nice thing is the quests that she gives you, like, hey, can you go find this waypoint thing? She generally gives you a little bit of a hint as to where they are as well. Like she'll talk about the gates and these other locations, and that's generally your indicator of where you need to go to
Gotcha.
to get that. A part of me really, when you just said gotcha like that, want to say, no, that's fake granddaughter. I sometimes have fights with my brain to say, like, really stupid things. That was one of them.
It wouldn't have been the dumbest thing with, like, that either of us have said, even in this Let's Play, let alone over our work together.
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of money now.
おかわりダメか
Nope, I only get one serving of soba.
またいつでも
いらっしゃい
And yeah, it attracts the gourmets as well, and the ninja fella as well.
握りたてだ
So like they've each got their own sort of specific one. And acquiring every single, like having eaten every single like thing, getting a tick against it,
Yep.
and
yep.
all the places to eat at, that's as well.
こたびもペロリといけたぞ
Like it's good. Like it's a good to track.
染み渡るな
Dangerously addictive dongo on a stick. Yeah, alright.
うまい
I think we actually just did one, didn't we? I think, or at least earn points towards it. Also, sometimes now that this is unlocked, like at certain points, the game will just like let us know it's still tracking how many steps we take in this game, and you'll just hear that noise over and over again while the thing is popped up.
That
It just goes and then vanishes.
that sounds a little horrifying, I'm not gonna lie.
It does jump scare you sometimes.
あらいおりくんにセイバーくんこれはちょうどいいところに来てくれました
なんでしょ
Fear.
ちょっと買い物を手伝ってほしいのよねおだちんは太夫から出ます
う。では買い物というのは彼女の使い
I take it that it's nowhere near as simple as you're making it sound.
察しの良さは
Actually, like in terms of shopping trips, it's actually a lot less like painful than I would have thought it would have been.
今回ばかりは私には荷が重い
I just don't trust Musashi to make anything simple.
吉原じゃ
If something is simple, she will make it hard because it's funny.
と言われたのだけど品川お店たくさんあるでしょ
This is the real problem.
はい。
私だけだと誘惑に耐えきれないかもしれないでしょ
Please prevent me from buying everything. Prevent me from having an alpha no movement.
Okay, you know what? That's actually comforting. I can buy that. I can buy that as an
叶
issue.
わぬが
For those who are wondering, an alpha no moment refers to a character in Final Fantasy XIV who goes, "Oh yeah, I'll buy that sword,"
来ないのだ
and doesn't look at the price, and then gets an invoice, and then looks at the price later and goes,
あるいは
"Oh."
The accountant of the organization he works for forced him to look at the price, and then basically took it out of his emotional hide for the rest of the expansion and most of the expansion after that as well.
It's just one sword, Taro. How much could it cost?
It turns out it's exactly like that moment in Arrested Development.
彼女たちは
He, like nobody let him live that down, which I found viscerally incredibly satisfying because I was super mad at
まあ
Alphino
ど
for
うしてもっ
unrelated
て時
reasons
に
at
は
that point in the
私
story.
が連れ出してるんだけどね
そうなのか
I'll forgive my dumb elf son for literally anything, so long as he like learns to swim and screams as he jumps into the water.
He is definitely the dumbest elf son
吉
ever.
原では手に入らな
The
い
absolute goddamn dumbest.
いくつかあるのよね後でリスト見せて
The nitty gritty.
リースと
Nitty what?
ああ品目をまとめた覚書みたいなごめんそれじゃ行きましょうかい
Just
ざ
keep
品
keep
川
saying words they don't understand.
It's fine. This isn't her first rodeo, or probably even her fifth.
And considering she has been warped to the Wild West before, she might have even taken part in a rodeo. I don't know. Like, are they all thinking Wild West?
I could definitely see Musashi just moonlighting as a rodeo clown for a week or two because it's funny.
まず商人のところに行ってみましょう。
Because, like, I know for a fact, the famous Australian outlaw, Ned Kelly, whenever he was, like, robbing, like, a homestead that had, like, a lot of money, or, like, a lot of supplies they needed, the, like, part of his gang would take, like, the family out to, like, the fields, because obviously, like, everyone had, like, horse fields and stuff, and would put on, like, a horse riding show to distract them and make them feel at ease while the rest of them ransacked the house.
Look, it's a great way to make sure nobody is a hero, because they're too busy having fun.
Well, he used to also, like, you know, take bank workers across the street to the town pub and get the publican to serve them up some beers while they
They rob
ransack
the bank.
So. And we're quite fond of also, like, destroying, like, loan documentation. So, like, yeah, he understood the fundamentals of like, you know, entertaining your hostages. You couldn't do that these days, and you probably shouldn't do that these days. You probably shouldn't rob banks these days.
I
I'm
mean,
just gonna say
yeah,
that.
robbing banks these days as a whole is definitely going to just, it's just going to piss people off. Like, it's important to understand when you hear about some of those romantic old-time bank robbers. Ned Kelly is the quintessential one in Australia. There's 1,001 of them in American folklore, basically. It's important to understand that as much as you, our viewer, like, I'm talking to you in particular, as much as you hate the bank right now, I don't care how many times the bank has fucked you over and how deeply and viscerally you hate them. Back during the heyday of Ned Kelly and Bonnie and Clyde and everybody like that, everybody, and I do mean everybody, who wasn't in the top, you know, not even top 1%, top 75%, hated the banks worse. Like, way worse.
Very easy way to make yourself a hero. And off we go. Off at Musashi speeds.
Jesus Christ, yeah, she's not messing around.
これはまた切りがいがありそうな。
Immediately distracted. Squirrel! Only, you know, it's a giant toothed octopus.
Yeah, I just love these silly buggers so much. Yeah, I'm still really mad Ned Kelly hasn't been made a servant yet, PS. Like, hopefully one day I can say, oh wow, this video is dated. This video, hopefully one day I can just say that, you know, this video's been dated because, you know, they finally added him.
Hang on, like, because I'm just gonna ask a few things here. Like, we're talking Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and anybody like that. Have any of those like old West folk heroes maybe been?
Two of them, in fact.
All right.
Billy the Kid is a servant.
All right.
And he has had prominent like roles in several stories. And Calamity Jane.
Calamity Jane makes a lot of sense.
She is like, although hers is a sort of a complicated thing to explain.
There's nothing in this franchise that isn't complicated.
I am going to have to explain the servant verse to you at some point, and it's gonna give you like brain hemorrhage.
I presume we don't have enough time right now.
Oh no, I'll tell you about it now. Okay, so there's like, obviously there's like different versions of different realities, etc., etc.
Sure, multiverse theory.
where humanity is taken a certain path, and like there's one that for some reason has managed to avoid being pruned from, like, you know, going too far out of the way, where they've managed to flood the entire galaxy, perhaps even more, perhaps the universe, with basically the ether required to sustain servants, and as a result, servants basically exist permanently and are proliferated across like the galaxy.
Okay, so like they're just sort of hanging out. They're permanent residents rather than temporary guests. In this
but it's also a comedy universe. It's like a gag setting, so most of the characters who are from it are based on existing servants, but they are jokes. Remember how I told you about Saberface is a trait, and there's one character who just really wants to murder all the Saberfaces?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Mysterious Heroine X. Which is basically just the servant first version of King Arthur of Altria, in disguise, dual wielding two different kinds of Excalibur, a regular one and one used by Saber Alta, and because she's a joke character.
Oh my god.
And, yeah, and there's a version of her where she finally like settles down and becomes like a salary woman space cop. Who has like transforming armor, and her name is Mysterious Heroine XX. And so, yes, Calamity Jane is from that setting and is friends with another character in that setting as well. Space Ishtar.
Space Ishtar.
Yes, Space Ishtar.
Outstanding.
Like her name is literally just Space Ishtar.
So stupid. Oh man, that is brilliant. I absolutely adore that.
Like, and I haven't even gotten into like the really demented stuff, because it's like did you know there's like an entire planet made up of like Mori Renmarus?
No.
Now you know. And there is one Mori Renmaru who stands above all the others as the most powerful retainer, and they are known as Mysterious Renmaru X. This mysterious character thing gets used a lot as a bit. Let's just say.
Man,
it's either space in front of the name or mysterious. But there are others. It's like there's an entire thing with it, and like there is one of the characters we're going to be meeting soon. Even also has a version of who they are. I will only say the name of their servant first thing, because it gives a hint as to a character we're going to be encountering in the next episode.
Okay.
But it should be just enough to not actually spoil who it is.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for this?
I'm listening.
Okay, it's Dr. Kikion.
Doctor, excuse me?
Dr. Kikion.
Dr. Kikion.
I will explain what Kikion is for everybody else in the next episode.
Yeah, I have no context on what that is. So, like, whatever.
I was kind of hoping you wouldn't, because then it would really kind of like start to lead you down the path of the truth. But I will explain Kikion. And various other mythological concepts to you in due time.
All right, I will not go researching that one, because as we've established multiple times, I don't use the internet.
The next episode we are meeting Dr. Kikion, but it is not Dr. Kikion, it's the actual proper servant. So now I can say next time on Samurai Remnant, Dr. Kikion.
花の模様がとってもキュートだわ。
キュート？よくわかりませんが、随分と
I don't. This is like the 8th time this has happened, where we're like at this point, Musashi is just showing off.
この櫛はね、太夫が使うわけじゃないの。
There's actually somewhat like the writers for Fate Grand Order are very fond of goofy character, like characters sort of speaking sort of goofy ways. There's one particular character who sort of speaks in a weird sort of thing where they'll like, obviously a lot of stuff is written in English, but then they'll like say a word that's like a combo meld of like English and Japanese together. Like at one point they say like "Sumina sorry."
You know, that makes me think of frickin' Crap, I'm forgetting her franchise, but Erica from the mecha anime where everybody's in like the little tin cans.
Ah, yes, Sakura Wars.
Thank you, Sakura Wars.
See,
yeah,
look.
she's the dumbest fucking person on the planet, and she just invents stupid bullshit, thinking it's intelligent, but it's really just stupid bullshit.
She's too precious for this entire fucking universe. It was sort of an interesting conversation we sort of skipped over because we were talking about, like, you know, the Servantverse, but when we were fighting, when the monsters spawned, Musashi, like, made a joke comment about, oh, must be the boss of the gang, and they said, nah, that's silly, and then Saber was like, really? Because that was actually fairly common where I'm from. And it's kind of like another, oh wow, you were around in a quite the mythology.
Yeah,
right?
Saber was around in a time of demons and dragons and legends.
It's like this small young gremlin is just like, yeah, I remember a time thousands of years before you were born. What of it?
Don't worry about it. She's right though. Seaweed does go great with salted rice balls.
We had an entire seaweed episode.
Okay, well, just back off and let them wear each other out. That is the biggest win you're getting today, Iori.
Yeah, we managed to get through that entire shopping spree with only a few fights and no dramas, and no one said, oh, you can't get it here, you're gonna have to, like, go, like, fight, like, the gazebo for it.
Ostensibly, you also came back with a little bit more money than you should have, simply because we ended up getting the tortoiseshell comb for free.
貴重な人物ですね。太夫はそういえば何らかの術者には見えませんが。
そうね。それでも正真正銘のマスターのはずよ。とはいえ私も正式な召喚を経たわけじゃなし。そこは伊織くんたちも同じだと思うけど。
Dayu just sort of gets caught up in this bull crap the same way Iori did. Sorry.
カメラごときがわしの邪魔をしよって無礼打ちだ。
どうか命ばかりはやめておくれ。
そこをどけたゆ。お前を切るつもりはないぞ。
毒もんか。この子はやらせないよ。
これはこれだよいな。今宵はナマスを魚に飲むとするか。なんだ貴様。
そうね。機嫌の悪い不動明王かしら。
妙だと泣けよな。貴様も切り捨ててくれる。
Dumbass didn't even have a portrait. He had no idea how fucking dead he was.
Seriously. No name, no portrait. How did you think this was gonna end?
流れていずこの江戸か。慣れた霊気と違えども腰の二頭は変わりなし。不動明王になり変わり神面武蔵が成敗立てまつった。笑いながら誰かの尊いものを踏みにじる。そういうのが一番嫌いなのです。
Just perfectly normal woman standing in window covered in blood.
Don't worry about it. Like this is what I do all day every day.
サーバントバーサーカー推算いたしました。神名を神面武蔵の神藤原の春信。武蔵ちゃんでいいわ。
Specifically added Chan to her own name when introducing herself to Dayu, by the way.
偽名はなかったのかい？亡くなった御仁、しかも男の名なんてさ。けど、ありがとう。助かったよ。
偽名じゃないんだけどな。ここの武蔵も男武蔵か。ま、何はともあれ、ひとまずはサーバントらしく。あなたの願いを聞かせてくれるかしら？
Dayu's like, what the hell are you talking about?
なんて思い出話はさておき。
You know, Musashi at the very least could fill her in on things. A lot of other berserkers probably wouldn't be able to do that.
はい。これは
Friggin' imagine if Musashi and Samson had their roles switched there. Just poor like completely confused Dayu with this like floor length hair dude who's the size of a mountain just shouting randomly. She's like, I don't know what you want.
He just gets out like a blackboard and starts drawing on it. He's got a little tiny pair of spectacles on.
いや、買い物なら自分でするよ。
Mind you, that retainer wouldn't have been able to say anything sassy because a giant hand would have just grabbed him on the top of the head and then just like.
Yeah, that would have just been a backhand and a red mist. That would have been it. It would have been done.
He would have just folded that man into like a sphere in one hand.
それは
We're done talking. You're done talking. You said way too much already, and you're pissing me off.
Like, he just would have hucked him straight up into the sky and let him burn up on re-entry.
待たせちまったね。もう少し辛抱しとくれよ。いい薬が手に入ったんだ。すぐ良くなるさ。ねえさ、お薬。大丈夫。きっと効くよ。
エーゲスとはままならぬもの。術者ならざる女に令状を与えるとは。己が役目は分かっていような。ただ私の指示に従い、願い叶えたくば。
いい旦那に身請けされて外の世を見るんだろ。なら飲みな。元気になって夢を叶えなよ。医者を呼ぶことさえできない。こんな苦害があっていいもんか。みんなを助けるんだ。 この義を使って。けどそのために土帝様にすがって武蔵ちゃんの力を頼んで、何かから解き放たれても別の何かに縛られちまう。武蔵ちゃんだって流れ者だ。そういつまでもここにとどまってもらうわけには。
The medieval Japanese version of Mo Money, Mo Problems. Only, you know, power instead of money. Same difference,
Musashi
really.
no problems.
Yeah, Mo Musashi, Mo Problems.
武蔵ちゃんの買い出しに付き合ってくれたんだって
Miyamoto problems.
ささやかだけど
I could do this all day. Thankfully, the video is ending soon. But yes, that scene always gets to me, to be perfectly honest, because it is a bit of a hit like a truck thing.
It's pretty poignant, yeah. Like it's well done, well acted, well directed, and well timed.
喜んでくれたわ。
I'm always very like throughout the LP, I've been trying to sort of, you know, let everybody know like the situation here sucks at shit. It's bad. It's awful.
Everything is awful. Everything sucks when you're in the past.
Like all of this is a facade. Everything is terrible. There's one thing we gotta do. Like while we're here, the sign has one last task for us before we can complete it. We haven't been able to do it till now, but we're going to do it now.
あれは
Has Saber sent it in on what it is?
スケロシン珍しいな見回りか
Sukunoshin, we found you but fat earlier.
だってこんな時に
Oh yeah, that's my much fatter and more successful brother.
He won't buy me access to a prostitute, so I'm forced to window shop.
あんたの言う通り見回り中でね。無理があんたと話してる暇はないんだ。そんじゃまたな。
あのお方、主様のお知り合いでは
Yamabuki just dumps
Cool.
it
Yeah, just cut through the bull crap for us, please.
in it. He's like, and Saber's like, Yeah, there we go. So we've completed our all of our sign objectives for this region.
Local trials. It was a local trial to tolerate the stupidity of that cutscene, I guess.
That's to embarrass Sukunoshin. Someone specifically hired someone to do that to him. Alright, so yeah, we've sort of sorted all that out. We'll be opening the next one with a little bit of a flashback to what Musashi and Zheng and Zhou were doing before they came and joined us at the port. And after that, yeah, next time on Fate Samurai Remnant, we get to meet Dr. Kikion! After the last Robokai.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
We'll see you all next time.